I'm delighted to say our next guest is Claire Melia, who is preparing for the second leg of a European Cup final. Claire, good morning to you. How are you?
Morning, how are you?
Yeah, pretty good. Are you're in La Coruña, or have you travelled for the second leg of the final already?
No, we travelled yesterday. We're here in France now. So, full day of travel. We left at 9 o'clock yesterday morning and got here at 10 last night. So,
all right. So is it a bus the whole way?
We got a bus to Santiago and then a train from Santiago to Madrid, then a flight from Madrid to Paris, and another bus from Paris to Lille.
Okay. So I didn't actually know exactly where Villeneuve was. So it's Lille, which is the very top north coast of France, and you guys are the north coast of Spain. So it's not close, but I guess an opportunity for everybody to dial in ahead of tomorrow's game.
Yeah. No, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Tomorrow it's going to be a close game. We lost the first game by 3 points, so there's more pressure on them than there is on us, I think, going into it. And sure, look, we go out and enjoy the experience.
Well, they were massive favourites heading into this. It's kind of, you've been the underdog story all season, is that right?
Yeah, we entered the qualifiers in September, and sure, going to play that, we were like, it's great to get a chance to play in the qualifiers in the Euro Cup. And then sure, we went on to the group stages then, and we got in the top two and that, got out of that. And the whole way along, I think we were all surprising ourselves, and don't think it's hit us at all that we're in the Euro Cup final still, even though it's tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know, it's a great experience, and you know, the journey the whole way along is good.
How does being a trailblazer sit with you? Is it comfortable being the first ever Irish woman to play in a major European basketball final? It's incredible.
Yeah, I don't think it's hit me yet, and I probably won't until I stop playing. You know, during the summer, it'll probably go. It'll actually happen. You know that way. Like it's that sort of a thing. But it's great for basketball at home as well. Like, and even for my town, Monasterevin. Like, you know, hopefully it'll pick up something there and start basketball in the town.
It's amazing, really, because in Monasterevin, am I right in saying that there wasn't an abundance of basketball facilities for you growing up, or maybe there wasn't even any at all? Was your father involved in improving that?
Yeah, so there was. In the old secondary school, there was a basketball court, but it wasn't full-sized.
Yeah.
And then just down the road from our house now, there's a new secondary school, and there's a court there, but obviously it's not accessible to the public all the time. Like, you'll have to rent it out and pay for it and insurance and stuff. But Daddy, for the last over 20 years, has been trying to get a sporting facility in, not just for basketball, for like soccer, athletics, everything. And unfortunately, people objected against it, so he's still at it now and still trying to do it, so hopefully it'll happen someday.
Your journey's been fascinating. I'm right in saying you went over to the US, played there for a while, but it wasn't the happiest of experiences. Is that correct?
Yeah. I went over to St. Joseph's in Philadelphia, and I was getting on grand, like, you know, getting court time, and I was being treated okay. And then it just wasn't nice seeing girls of 18 and 19 years of age being upset over a sport that they're supposed to love, and a lot of them now don't even play anymore. You know, I'm only 25, so they were younger than me, and it's just sad to see that they've given it up just because they, you know, hate the sport because of what happened out there.
You don't have to go into too heavy detail if you don't want to, but what was actually happening there? Like, how were you able to maybe survive that environment and others weren't?
It was just the treatment of players. Like, you know, there's like certain things that was said probably indirectly to players that would affect them mentally and things. You know, the old school, they probably say, "Oh, you're not mentally tough to take it," or whatever. But there's also treating you as a human as well and as a person. It's not all about the sport. You know, you have to go and enjoy it as well.
So there's still, at that point in your journey, there's still a long way to go between there in America, progressing your career, to now being in this European final. So what happens after your experience in America?
I came back and played in Ireland for a few years. I never thought I'd move out of Ireland. I'm happy enough at home, and I'm lucky to have a great family around me. But then a few years after, my nanny passed away, and then my mother passed away the year after nanny. So I definitely didn't think I was going to move away from home then. But the coach for me, Dino, he was contacting me for the last 2 or 3 years. And the time he contacted me just wasn't the right time for me anyways, to move away. I wouldn't have lasted. And he contacted me again and asked me, and I came out with my boyfriend Hillary just to have a look at the place, because if I was moving away, I want to make sure it's a nice area, a nice living situation and stuff. So I don't know, it was like a gut feeling that told me to go and try it this year, and thank God I did, or I won't be in the Euro Cup final.
Yeah, absolutely. So were you scouted when you were back playing in Ireland? Is that how that came about?
Yeah, so I would have been with the Irish team and stuff, playing in the Eurobasket. You know, the games would have been all on YouTube and things, so Now, usually people have agents. I signed with an agent once, but I didn't like not having direct contact with the coaches and waiting for agents to get back to you, and you're waiting around not knowing what's happening. So this time I didn't sign with one, so he just contacted me directly and worked out with it.
So you actually organised the transfer yourself, the whole thing?
Yeah, the coach contacted me directly, so I was just in direct contact with him, so it was grand.
Oh. And how's life over there now?
Yeah, no, it's fairly laid back. Like, it's now I think the club here is a good situation for me. They do treat you like a person, and they care about you. Understand there's life outside of basketball, and like these achievements of getting to the Euro Cup final and even just to the next stage. It's all celebrated. And everyone realizes what we're doing. But it's a nice situation for all. It's a nice town. It's great people in it too.
So, what's the language on the court between your teammates?
I don't have much Spanish now, but there's two of the girls translate everything for us, so it's actually not that bad. You know the few basketball terms, and that's all you need to know.
And what would be the difference in terms of the style of basketball you play? You've obviously been in Spain and Ireland and the States now. Is there a massive difference in the style of basketball you play?
I'd say in Spain and Ireland, there's probably the physicality, obviously it's the refereeing as well. You can use your full strength out here towards the home. You have to give the ball up. You can't go to the basket all the time where refs call the fouls on you for being too strong. But the speed as well, for me anyways, out here. And every team has a different system. So, I could go to another team and they might play a slower speed to basketball. But here it's unusual. I've never played it like that before, but it's good to have something different.
So how are you set up heading into this? Is the second leg is tomorrow, Wednesday night, isn't it?
Yeah.
And so did you lose the first leg? It's quite a close tie, this.
Yeah, we lost the first leg by 3 points. But even looking back at the game, a few baskets that some of the girls would never usually miss, and a few free throws and things like it's. When you look back at it and see it, you're like, I forgot that we would have been up by 10. It's you never know what can happen now. You go out tomorrow night and lose by 20, you never know. But sure, we go out and give it a go anyway and see what happens.
Claire, in terms of the achievement by your club at the moment, you say that everybody's kind of appreciating the fact that it's a remarkable story you're on. Does it change the belief system that everybody in the club has about what expectations will be for next season into the future, or is this just you have to just take this season as a standalone?
I think you just have to take this season as a standalone. A lot of people will move on probably to other teams and get more offers, especially after winning the Euro Cup final. Now, it depends. Again, everyone has agents, and it depends on what work they're doing in the background for their players as well. But I think it's just sort of to be in the moment and enjoy this season the way it's going.
And is your deal with them for this season, and you revisit after the final and see what happens next?
Yeah, I only signed a 1-year contract, so now, to be honest, I didn't think I'd get through to Christmas, and I think a few people at home would be surprised that I stayed away from my family for this long. So,
and have you kind of surprised yourself at how well you've adapted? It obviously sounds like you were totally ready for this.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm lucky to have such a supportive family at home that I'm glad to be around and happy to be around. So it makes it harder moving away as well. But they've been out to multiple games. We're out last week in Ferrol for a few days. They're coming out tomorrow in the morning. I think there's probably nearly 30 people on the Ryanair flight in the morning coming out from Ireland. So, it'll be a bit of crack as well. It's going to be a once-in-a-lifetime experience as well, so just take it all in and enjoy the moment.
Well, listen, thanks a million for making the time to talk to us, Claire, and hopefully your dad's campaign to get better facilities for the people of Monasterevin and the future generations. This is exactly the type of moment that the local politicians will all be all over, so now's the time to sting them for a bit of cash.
That's it.
Claire, congratulations, thanks a million, cheers.
Thanks a million.
Best of luck.
Thanks, Claire.
Bye.
It's an incredible story.
Amazing. Yeah. Definitely like a person of her own mind because of her experience in the US as well.
That stuff about the agent, I thought was spot on. I know that it's probably a hot topic because Damien Duff brought it up a couple of weeks ago about agents probably not always having the player's specific best interest at heart. So the fact that Claire just thought, I'll go and do it myself, because I never liked, agents would come and say, I've had a word with the gaffer and this is what he said. You're not sure. You're never quite sure if that's exactly how it's meant or that's how it's come across. If you're in the room and you get it face to face, you know exactly where you stand.
Well, like I was labelling as a trailblazer, and you have to be a special character to have that label, but it suits her as like she didn't like what was happening in America with the culture. She wasn't personally affected, but she didn't like how other people were. She left prematurely. She had an opportunity to go to Spain earlier than she did. She didn't suit her at the time. Now she's over there, and now she's the first Irish woman to be in a European final.
I think trailblazer is probably the right word, because, as you say, when she said like I was getting time on the court, it didn't really affect me, but she wasn't happy with the circumstances, decided to up and leave. And the age and stuff as well, she probably could have just let that rumble on and sit in the background, but the fact she said, no, I'm going to go and sort this out myself. Brilliant, very impressive woman.
Yeah, and sometimes you're not ready for stuff, and then other times you're totally ready for it. Like her performance in the semi-final and in the first leg in the final has been really strong.
It's to know that, that's true. The first of all, her performance, just not making up the number, she's an essential part of the team. But also that thing about knowing the difference then when it really doesn't suit at all, or being scared but still taking the opportunity, because for major opportunities in life, you're never really fully ready.
No, feel the fear and do it anyway.
There's a difference between going ahead or else it's completely the wrong time.
And that happens, especially in Irish sport. It's littered with the old late bloomers. Time for the cash machine.
Off the balls.